Welcome back. Let's understand by a simplified flowchart what is the physiological basis of menstrual cycle. See this flowchart, this will cover the entire board. Ovary. Ovary, it shows folliculogenesis. After birth, this ovary shows a population of primordial follicles which are converted to pre-antral follicle. Do not forget to visit the folliculogenesis lecture, the web lecture, so that you will have enough idea about this concept. Pre-antral follicle, antral follicle, and this antral follicle, after the process of dominance, they form very important term, that is a pre-ovulatory follicle, or I can say it as a dominant follicle, or what you are knowing about the term the Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle. So this is that follicle which is ready to undergo the process of ovulation. I can also use the word dominant follicle. I can also use the word pre-ovulatory follicle. Please see my folliculogenesis lectures to get more information and idea. So what is this process? This primordial to antral follicle, this undergoes under the word of folliculogenesis. This is folliculogenesis, where recruitment of some of the follicles occur. They undergo selection. I'm just skipping these points. They undergo dominance, and some undergo atresia, degeneration. Everything is being given in the form of master lectures. I request you all to visit this channel to see all these lectures in tandem to have a better idea. What happens? After this process of recruitment, selection and dominance, a pre-ovulatory follicle is formed. What happens? Now during the time of, this point is important, follicular growth, two cells play a very important role. One is the theca cells, which are sensitive to the hormone LH because they do have the receptors. And the second cell, the most important cell, are the granulosa cells, which are predominantly showing the receptors for FSH, the follicle stimulating hormone. Both these hormones are secreted from anterior pituitary. And do not forget to visit the endocrine regulation of folliculogenesis lecture and how hypothalamus and pituitary gland are regulated through these hormones. Please visit. So during the time of follicular growth, till the part of the ovulation, when a dominant follicle is formed, granulosa cells also develop the sensitivity for LH. Under the influence of the FSH, these follicular growths occur, but the granulosa cells, they gradually mature to form FSH, LH receptors in a trend-wise manner. That means FSH receptors will try to fall, but LH receptors will start acting. And this mature follicle starts secreting estradiol 17 beta. If I can say in the language of menstrual cycle, I can say this is known as follicular phase. Follicular phase, in which the follicles are playing the important role. And this estradiol 17 beta, it has a very important function. What it causes? It activates, this point is important, it activates the hypothalamic centers to go for LH surge. Do not forget to see this master lecture. Once LH surge occurs, this LH acts on the dominant pre-ovulatory follicle, and it carries out ovulation. So I am making you to understand what going inside the ovary. So ovulation is over. This is one of the role that this estradiol stimulates the LH surge secretion, and also it has an inhibitory role that it will not allow the secretion of FSH along with inhibin hormone, inhibin A rather I can say. So that's why this estradiol is playing important role. What it causes in the uterus? It primes the uterus, prepares the uterus, priming of uterus. Now you can understand why menstrual cycle is known as ovarian uterine cycle, because uterus is now starting. What is priming? Priming means one is glandular growth, not that much, but yes, it causes proliferative growth, or you can say endometrial repairing, because already menstruation has occurred. Try to understand this point. And during menstruation, the endometrial line gets clogged off. There is a damage is there to this coiled or the spiral arteries, which are the branches of the uterine arteries, which are the branches of the iliac arteries. So they are being gone. Ischemia-like changes are there inside the uterus. Environment is very bad, very conducive. Uterus cannot accept an ovulated follicle which will undergo fertilization to allow the process of implantation. That's why the uterus requires a priming, and that priming makes the uterus ready to conceive. That means implant. A crosstalk mechanism will start between the fetus, embryo, then fetus with the mother. So that's why this priming is important, and this priming of the uterus is being mediated by this estradiol. No doubt, it is causing the central axis to be get activated for the LH surge, but simultaneously, it is acting on the endometrium. And that makes the uterus get ready. Whoa, I'm really getting pregnant. I'm going to get a fetus in future. Yes, of course. That's why it is preparing. But sometimes it is not true. And once it is not true, the word is menstruation. That I am making you understand. So once ovulation is there, this ovulation now comes, it is in the secondary oocyte stage. You are saying, ovum or egg, it will come to the fallopian tube, particularly the ampulla. It will also cause, this estrogen will cause a mucus thin to be at the cervix, so that it will allow the sperm to migrate. That is another key point. And once the sperm is migrating and the oocyte is ready at the ampulla, then the most important thing happens. And you understand here, once I'm saying LH surge, LH is secreted, it acts on the dominant follicle, ovulation occurs, but we should not forget, secondary oocyte is gone, but please see this black one, the corpus luteum is converted to. This corpus luteum is formed, and this corpus luteum is formed from what? Ovulated follicle. Ovulated follicle under the influence of same LH. And this corpus luteum will start secreting, this is the important point, progesterone. And this progesterone will go and remain in the uterus in super priming. I will explain that, super priming. But what about this ampullary egg? It will wait for two processes. Either sperm will come, it will fertilization, and an embryo will be formed. This embryo, the tropoectodermal cells, they secrete the hormone HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. And this HCG acts very important. It inhibits synthesis of the prostaglandins, and for me, the PGF2 alpha is important. And once this PGF2 alpha synthesis is inhibited, Try to understand. Then the remaining corpus luteum remains secreting progesterone, and due to this the pregnancy continues. The pregnancy continues. So this is one way mechanism, but we are addressing menstrual cycle. So understand, that is, sperm is there, no sperm is there, whatever, no fertilization, no embryo. Try to understand that point. And if embryo is not there, there will be no concept of tropoectodermal cell. So I can say fertilization failure. Fertilization failure. That means there is no embryo. That means if there is no embryo, then there will be no SCG. That means no SCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. It means now it will cause, without SCG, it will cause the secretion of PGF2 alpha. And once PGF2 alpha is there, it will cause luteolysis. That means the rupture of the corpus luteum. And once luteolysis is there, the progesterone is gone. That is the master point. And once progesterone is gone, there is no pregnancy. That structures which are being rebuilt inside the uterine endometrium, they undergo degeneration. Let me explain with one more word. Here I have written that progesterone causes super priming of the uterus. What is that super priming? I can write here, progesterone, it causes muscular tonicity. It regulates muscular tonicity of the uterus. Vascular growth, it regulates the coiling and the spiraling of the arterioles. It causes glandular growth. This is very important. It causes thick mucus formation, so that except the embryo, none of the structures should enter the uterus. It causes, I'm continuing this point in the red pen, it causes very important endometrial thickening. Endometrial thickening. It causes the endometrial increase blood flow. That's the point. And it causes the myometrium to remain silent. It should not contract. And this vascular muscular growth, whatever you are seeing in the presence of luteolysis, corpus luteum is gone, progesterone is gone. And once progesterone is gone, these things set up. Slugging, ischemia-like changes occur. Hypoxic drive occurs in the endometrium. Cells start dying because the uterine arterioles, which are coiled, which are spiral, they are constricted. Blood flow is restricted. Lining is slugged off. And that slugged up line along with the blood comes out, important, comes out through the vagina, and that's known as menstruation. So if this is known as follicular phase, when I am saying there is a corpus luteum is there, progesterone is there, and this mechanism is there, then it is known as luteal phase or the secretory phase. I can write here, this is luteal phase. We'll explain by another flowchart, but yes, this is that known as secretory phase. And due to these two phases, the progesterone is there, the corpus luteum is there, and the tonicity of the uterus is maintained. So this is the physiological basis of menstrual cycle. What we have learned here? We learned that nothing happens without a reason. Everything is sequestrated, planned, coordinated, and precisely regulated. The things are appearing much more clear that there is a crosstalk mechanism is there between the ovary, hypothalamus, anterior pituitary, uterus. Number of changes are occurring inside the ovary, number of changes are occurring inside the uterus. The ultimate aim of this total process is to have an embryo. a successful pregnancy or a life. And in that process, if something wrong happens, means we expect a failed pregnancy. So menstrual cycle is the marker process which says ovary is ready to inform the uterus that get ready for the future process of fertilization, implantation, placentation, successful gestation. So with this particular flowchart came to the end. In the next flowchart, we'll draw the 3 phases of menstrual cycle. Menstruation, which comes under actually the follicular, the proliferative phase, that is almost 1 to 13 days. Day 0 will take, or day 1 will take as the phase of menstruation, that means the day of bleeding. Day 14th will take as the day of ovulation, and 15th to 20th it will take as secretory or the luteal phase. This is the basis I have told. And this term we should not forget, that is maternal recognition of pregnancy. It is a deliberate process in which the uterus is sending the message to the ovary, cool down, I am pregnant. And a successful implantation should be followed by a successful placentation, and gestation should continue. Stay tuned for my next lecture on the phases of menstrual cycle and their regulation. Thank you so much.